All right, so you wrote an article, Brown's NFL Draft Dilemma for 2026. Success could change everything. Take us through that, and I have a follow up to that for you as well.
Sure. So basically, when the Browns came to the realization that Cam Ward wasn't going to be an option for them as the pick at number two, and that Tennessee would be selecting him, I think, and they made the conclusion that they could pull off the trade with Jacksonville to trade back and pick up an extra first round pick. I truly believe that at that point in time, they signed Flacco a week before the draft, that they were totally content going into the draft and kicking the can until next year to try to grab their franchise quarterback of the future. I do think that they wanted to take a swing on Gabriel because they do like him, and I think that Kevin Stefanski is a big proponent of his. So but I believe the idea was for him to be the long-term backup and possible starter, and spot starter if you
Hmm.
need him, and just to have him in place, moving forward as part of that room. He's like we've been talking about since the beginning of this segment. He's a guy you want to have in that room to kind of, hopefully he can develop and kind of be a player coach in the quarterback room eventually. So there's a lot to like there, but at the end of the day, the article, talks about, the plan I think the Browns had coming in. I don't think that they saw that Shador Sanders would be an opportunity to select him there in the fifth round. And that became an opportunity they just couldn't pass up. So they did that. Now they have two quarterbacks in the room. And they're taking swings at the position, which I definitely love and I support. They are well positioned to solve the quarterback position in the near future, if not from this past class, definitely in 2026. And the article went on to state about, how if the Browns find some success with one of the rookies this year, they could then in turn, really, do a couple of things. It puts them in a position of strength. They can actually trade one of those first round picks, essentially giving them 227 first round picks and along with 226 first round picks. So that would really benefit them and catapult them if they could get one of these guys to pan out.
Yeah, the one thing that, let's say for a minute that one of those two picks is a top five pick, and you're going to get one of the top two quarterbacks in what is believed to be, at this point in time, a quarterback, a fairly deep quarterback draft. I just, Sanders or Gabriel would have to be off the charts. They would have to be. Um, they couldn't just be, well, he's a competent NFL starter. To pass on a guy that's like top two or three quarterbacks in a deep quarterback class, how good would one of those rookies have to be for you to pass on? It's I don't even know who the name is. Fill in the blank, a really highly thought of rookie quarterback.
Sure. So, I think it all would boil down to the evaluation on the specific player. And you're right. I think that one of these quarterbacks would really, really have to impress in order for that to be the case. And when I say impress, I'm talking, in contention for offensive rookie of the year, possibly a season like Baker Mayfield had in his rookie year, sort of to that level, sort of to like what Jaden Daniels experienced last year. That would be the only thing that would take drafting a quarterback in the top five who you have a that high of a grade on, and Andrew Berry has that kind of grade on. And having two quarterbacks is never necessarily a bad thing. And like I said, it gives you options down the road. I don't know exactly, who that quarterback is that could be head and shoulders above everybody else. And unless the Browns have the first overall pick, we're kind of back in a situation, debating about how good exactly is this quarterback and can he definitely be the answer? But it is a good question. and a tough one to answer.
Yep.
But I like the Browns' chances to solve the issue over the next couple of years.
Yeah, and that's kind of, you mentioned Baker Mayfield. That's kind of where I was at. They deemed he wasn't good enough when he was kind of in that mid-range, a middle of the pack starter. That's why I think if they're looking at somebody they think can be top 10 in the league in a year or two, they go get him.